And we are live inside Chappie James Arena on the campus of Tuskegee University, getting set for basketball action on the Golden Tigers Sports Network. It'll be the Golden Tigers hosting the Lady Panthers of Clark Atlanta University in SIAC women's basketball. Glad you could join us on GTSN. Charles Ward here with the play-by-play story, joined by our production crew here at Chappie James as we get set for women's basketball action. First SIAC contest for both of these schools. Golden Tigers of Tuskegee 3-2 overall, and again, their first conference ball game. And they'll meet the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. They too are 3-2 on the season and looking for their first conference win as well. Golden Tigers of Tuskegee predicted to finish second in the West at the preseason polls, and the Panthers of Clark Atlanta predicted to finish second in the East. So these two teams, by virtue of what they did last season, getting those preseason rankings to come into this first conference matchup. Golden Tigers of Tuskegee lead the series against the Panthers of Clark Atlanta 25-8 overall, and the Golden Tigers currently on a 7-game win streak against the Panthers of CAU. But all of that out the window as we look at 24-25 SIAC basketball and getting set for the first conference contest for both of these schools. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving Day, and now we're set for basketball action here on the Saturday after Thanksgiving as the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee coming off of their last win against the Tigers of West Alabama, a GSC school. That Tuskegee won that ball game 62-58, and the Panthers coming off of a win against the Magicians of Lemoyne Owens College. That one, West versus East, don't believe that one counting in the standings as it relates to conference play, but the Panthers defeated the Magicians 91-56 in that ball game. For the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee, head coach Deontay Wester, she's in her second campaign at Tuskegee. Career wins for Coach Wester, 50-65 at 44%. At Tuskegee, she's 18-12 at 60%. Of course, she spent 3 years at Livingstone prior to coming here at Tuskegee. For the Panthers of Clark Atlanta, they are coached by Tony Bailey. Coach Bailey in his 6th season at Clark Atlanta. One of those years you got to pull out of the stats because that was the year of COVID. They didn't play that year. So over a 5-year span, Coach Bailey for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta with a 48-63 mark overall. Golden Tigers of Tuskegee, assistant coaches Montel Jones and grad assistant Nadia Thurman-McKee. And for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta, Taylor Fulton, Rick Jones, and Kiana Johnson, the Brain Trust for Clark Atlanta. For the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee, they're led by Brittany Boland, the grad student from Trophy Club Texas. Boland leading the team in scoring with 14.8 points per ball game. She also leads the Golden Tigers in assists per ball game at 3.2 and 1.6 steals for Boland. For the Panthers of Clark Atlanta, several people on that roster, a preseason all-conference team. Trinity Jones, second team All-SIAC. Coriana Evans, she's back-to-back first-team conference player for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. And Atriana Gardner, the sophomore, she's first-team back-to-back conference player for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. So as we are live in the Booster Display pregame show, those are some of the people we're going to keep an eye on in this basketball game as we get set to tip it off momentarily here between the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee and the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. You're watching Golden Tiger basketball on the Golden Tiger Sports Network, live in the Booster Display pregame show. More after this timeout.
Broadcast coverage of Tuskegee Athletics on the Golden Tiger Sports Network is brought to you by Alabama Department of Public Health. Healthy people, healthy communities, healthy Alabama. Booster Digital Displays, dedicated to providing high-quality, affordable LED displays with exceptional service. TNT Fireworks, celebrating more than 100 years of America's #1 best-selling brand of fireworks. Alabama Power, developed for the service of Alabama. Wind Creek Casino, Montgomery. Elevate your game to fabulous. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing. Coca-Cola, real magic. Zuby's Taco Kitchen, Yellowwood. And by Vibes Restaurant, we're all about good vibes.
Back live inside the Booster Display pregame show, getting set for Golden Tiger basketball on the Golden Tiger Sports Network. Take a look at some of the numbers for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Again, they're 3-2 on the season, averaging 70.8 points per ball game. From the floor, they shoot 40%. 131 out of 321 chances for the Panthers as this ball game gets set to unfold. From behind the arc, 28% for CAU, 24 of 84 shooting. Rebounding for the Panthers, they average 40 rebounds per ball game, and from the free throw line, the Panthers shoot 62%. 10.2 assists per ball game. Turnovers, they average 15.2 per contest. Steals, 11.8 per ball game, and 3.2 blocks per contest for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. For the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee, they average 63 points per ball game, shooting 34% from the floor, 26 from behind the arc. At the free throw line, the Golden Tigers at 76% shooting, and 41.6 rebounds per outing for the Golden Tigers. Tuskegee averaging 9.2 assists per ball game, 16.6 turnovers per outing, and 7.4 steals per contest, and 1.6 blocks per ball game for the Golden Tigers. So those are some of the numbers of the teams as they get set to meet here in basketball action. Getting set now for the national anthem here inside Chappie James. As they do that, we'll step out for a timeout on GTSN.
Hello, I'm Dr. Mark Brown, class of 1986, president of Tuskegee University, and this is the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Back live here inside Chappie James Arena on the campus of Tuskegee University, Tuskegee, Alabama. Golden Tiger Sports Network getting set for women's basketball. Golden Tigers getting set to host the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Let's meet the starting lineups now. The TNT Fireworks starting lineups here inside Chappie James for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. They'll go with the fifth-year player Coriana Evans at one of the forward positions from Griffin, Georgia. She leads the team in scoring with 15 points per ball game. She'll be joined by second-team all-conference player, the senior Trinity Jones at 13.6 points per game and 2.8 rebounds. Denise Stein, the fifth-year player from East Palo Alto, California. She averages 6.2 points per ball game and 1.2 rebounds for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. And the sophomore, Adriana Gardner from Spanaway, Washington. She's first-team All-SIAC, back-to-back in that category. Gardner leads the team in rebounding at 8.6 per ball game for CAU. And rounding out their five, it'll be the grad student Faith Bland. Bland from St. Louis, Missouri. Bland averages 6.4 points per ball game and 4.8 rebounds. So the five for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta: Evans, Jones, Stein, Garner, and Bland for head coach Tony Bailey in his sixth season at Clark Atlanta. Now the starting lineup for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee University. It's a familiar one for Coach Deontay Wester. It'll be Helani Cantone, the grad student from Apopka, Florida. Cantone on the season leads the team in blocks with 3. Cyan Holmes, the grad student from Evanston, Illinois. She'll get the start this afternoon. This will be her fourth ball game for the Panthers starting. 4 points for her and 6 rebounds per outing for Holmes. Alexandria Johnson, a senior from Little Rock, Arkansas, 8.8 points per ball game for her and 3.2 rebounds. She will get the start this afternoon. And the player of the week in the SIAC from a week ago, the grad student Brittany Bolin from Trophy Club, Texas. Bolin at 14.8 points, 3.2 rebounds, or assists, that is, per ball game. And Jasmine Manuel, the grad student from St. Louis, she averages 8.8 points per ball game and 9 rebounds. She will be in the ball game starting inside the middle. So it's Cantone, Holmes, Johnson, Boland and Manuel out on the floor for Coach Chiante Wester in her second campaign. Tuskegee 3-2, Panthers 3-2. This one, SIAC contest, winner will get its first win of the season. Evans will jump against Holmes, tapped, controlled, and Tuskegee with the basketball first, and we're underway. Boland, 11 points, 5 rebounds in the win against West Alabama earlier this week. Manuel, top of the key, handling for Tuskegee now. Now Cyan handles up top, had it almost taken away, but she controls it right side. Lead behind this one is taken away by Clark Atlanta. 2-on-2 basketball. Brolin catching up with that play from behind and tapping it out of bounds. It'll stay with Clark Atlanta. Brolin was able to catch up with Stein, the fifth-year player, down the left side of the floor. Glad you could join us here on GTSN. Out front with the basketball, on the move, left side, Garner. Garner, bank shot, left side, first points of the ball game. She gets them for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Garner, 13.4 points per ball game, leads the team in rebounding. Got the first field goal. Boland, half court set, up top now to Jasmine. On the turn, Johnson. Inside the paint, tied up on the inside, and a foul called on the inside. First foul of the ball game goes against Denise Stein, and she picks up her first, team foul number 1. Quinice Spearman, Tyrell Johnson, and Bernard Jones, the officiating crew for this SIAC contest. Half court set now for Tuskegee. Boland gets it in play. Jump shot by Cantone, and Helani cans that one for Tuskegee. So Helani averaging 11 points per ball game, starting to see that creep up for her game after game. Good form there on the open jumper left side. Inside, Tuskegee takes it away. Alexandria comes away with it, up the floor to Boland. Brittany cross dribble and had that one stripped away. Good defensive work there by Stein. She'll run the floor right side to the glass and finish with the lay-in for Clark Atlanta. So Stein picked Brittany of that basketball. Back on the other end, good transition basket for her on the lay-in. Cantone, cross dribble, Helani in the paint. Had it batted away. Clark Atlanta coming away with the basketball. Up the floor, they run it. Faith Bland runs it down right side. Spinning inside the paint. Good defensive work by Manuel. Loose basketball to TU. Cantone, left side Boland. Boland had it stripped away underneath. Looking for a foul, didn't get it. Garner runs back the other way for Clark Atlanta, and she got a lay-in with the right hand on the left side of the cylinder. So she's got 4. And it's a 6-2 lead early here for Clark Atlanta. Holmes, bounce pass across the floor, try to wrap it over there to Jasmine, able to keep it now for Clark Atlanta, and a whistle on that play. Give the basketball to Clark Atlanta on a side out. Not sure exactly what that call was on the inside there. I think they may have called Cyan Holmes for the personal foul against Tuskegee, so that's her first. So half court set now for CAU. On the floor for the Panthers, Trinity Jones handling up top. They go to Evans, left side. She missed on the lay-in. Basketball is loose, and Clark Atlanta runs it down. They'll get another look as they work it inside to Evans on Jasmine. Good defensive work by Tuskegee. CAU on the floor, foul line extended now. Running jumper right side to the glass, and that one's converted by Garner. So she's got 3 field goals in this first period of play. I call that one on Cyan Holmes. It was not a foul on her on the other end of the floor, so that's just her first personal. And Garner to the line now for Clark Atlanta to shoot. Garner, 10 of 17 from the free throw line coming into today's play. Evans takes a seat on the CAU bench. And the free throw by Garner is good. Full court pressure by Clark Atlanta now as Helani steps to the defense. Across the floor to Boland. Double B for three. Front of the iron on that shot. Rebound quickly cleared by Jones up the floor for Clark Atlanta. In traffic at the block. And a jump ball called. Samaya Macklin, the junior from Columbus, Georgia, out on the floor now for Coach Wester. She'll replace Cyan Holmes in the lineup. Half court set for CAU. They lead 9-2. Up top, springing left side with the basketball is Amberly Brown, the senior. And that play rejected on the inside by Clark Atlanta. They have that by the Golden Tigers now. They have it in a half court set. And Helani Cantone had it taken away in a half court set. And she's guilty of a foul. Good aggressive defense there by the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. And Cantone picks up her first. Slow start here for the Golden Tigers. 6:28 left in the first period. 9-2 lead for Clark Atlanta. Last 10 meetings between these schools. Tuskegee with a 9-1 edge there. Take away in the backcourt. Johnson works it right side, one-on-one, spins inside, too far into the paint, but Boland runs it down, and she'll have it in the corner. Squaring, fires a three. Back of the iron for Boland. Long rebounds cleared out of there by Clark Atlanta as they come back the other way with a 7-point lead. Second team all-conference Trinity Jones handles the basketball out front. Now they work it right side, spinning inside the paint. Brown missed on the shot on the inside, but a rebound there backside by Garner. And she missed on the putback, but the basketball will stay with CAU on their end of the floor. Right now, Clark Atlanta just a little bit more aggressive on the inside. Second chance opportunities, availing themselves to those as they work inside the paint. Across the floor now, Jones handles. At the block, they work it on the inside to Brown. Turns to the rack, spinners off the mark. Cantone clears for Tuskegee. Alani, right side Lee Brown for Johnson. Johnson from outside, can't find the range. And CAU back the other way. Brooklyn McKinley runs the floor left side, and McKinley gets her first field goal of the ball game. So the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee, after that basket by McKinley, they'll take a timeout. 5:24 remains in the first period. The Panthers of Clark Atlanta with an 11-2 lead over the Golden Tigers. More on GTSN after the timeout.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
Back live inside Chappie James. 5:24 remains first period. Tuskegee in a hole right now, trailing at 11-2 to the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Teams met last year, December, about this same time of year. Tuskegee won that ball game, 56-55, right here in Chappie James. Boland with it, across the floor to Cantone now. Alani works it down in the right corner, pushes back up top to Alexandria. Across the floor to Boland, now down in the corner, jumper there by Macklin. That was partially deflected by Clark Atlanta. Good defensive effort there by Amberly Brown. Down at the block, they go to Brown. Across the floor now, working the paint. Garner to the glass, and she gets another field goal. So Garner carrying most of the load for the Panthers early in this ball game. She's got 8 so far in this first half. Golden Tigers in a half-court set. 9 to shoot. Inside, Macklin to the rack, left side, and Zamaya's fouled. She'll go to the line for TU. They call that foul on Brooklyn McKinley. And McKinley picks up her first. Team foul number 2 for Clark Atlanta. And that'll send the junior from Columbus, Georgia to the line. Macklin, 80% shooting for Tuskegee, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Now the Panthers of Clark Atlanta, 6 of 13 from the floor at 46%. And the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee struggling from the floor, 1 of 7 at just 14%. Macklin got the first free throw for Tuskegee, her first points of the ball game. And Zamaya 1 of 2 from the line, and a rebound to Clark Atlanta. The sophomore McKinley with it out front for CAU. She'll work off of a double screen up top. Now Garner handles. Cantone going for a steal there. Not able to come away with it. Bland has it. Now they give it to Garner. 10 to shoot for Clark Atlanta. Hard move left side. McKinney to the rack, and she finishes again. So back-to-back field goals for McKinney extends the Panther lead to 15-3. Half-court pressure across the floor. LaDeja Hughley, the senior from Opelika, out on the floor now for Coach Wester and Tuskegee. Dangerous pass at the sideline and a foul called there. Stein guilty of the foul. That's her second. Caitlin Dunning, the junior, out on the floor for Coach Bailey. She'll replace Stein after she picked up her second personal. And across the floor is the SIAC Player of the Week, Brittany Boland, to inbound it for CAU. Does so out front to LaDeja Hughley. Panthers have jumped into a zone defense now as Cantone handles out front. 7 to shoot for Clark Atlanta. Trying to work it inside. Now they got to go airborne. On the move, running jumper by Cantone. Missed on the shot, but the rebound to Boland. Soft jumper left corner. Boland knocks it down for Tuskegee, her first field goal. That'll make it 15-5 after the basket from Brittany. Panthers working across the zone. Now they get it down in the corner to McKinley. She circles back out with a pass up top. Now McKinley, that one partially deflected there. Good defensive work there by Cantone. And after the block, which is a yellow wood block shot by Cantone, foul called against the Panthers. They call it against McKinley. That's her second. 2:49 left in this first period of play. 10-point lead for Clark Atlanta. Sine Bobbitt out on the floor now for Coach Wester and Tuskegee. She'll replace Jasmine Manuel in the lineup. Hughley handles for the Golden Tigers. Chance to cut into that Panther lead, which is 10. Boland runs the floor behind the arc. Fair fires a three-pointer. That one partially deflected, but Hughley got a rebound. Bobbitt foul on extended, and off the bench, Sine with her first field goal. Nicely done there by Bobbitt. Good space. And they cut the deficit to 15-7. 2:23 remaining in this first period. CAU with Dunning out front. Now they work it to Leah Turner, who's on the floor as well. And at the foul line, whistles on the play. Travel violation there on Lizzie Walker. So Coach Bailey with a couple of substitutions out on the floor, and that turnover gives the basketball back over to the Golden Tigers, and Tuskegee with a chance to cut further into that lead. It's turnover number 2 for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Hughley across the timeline for TU. Works it right side to Cantone. Alani squares, gives it up top to Macklin. And we go back the other way. Sine trying to create a little space there. I think they got her for a personal. So Sine picks up her first personal. Jordan Smith, a freshman now out on the floor. She'll inbound the basketball for Clark Atlanta. just in front of their bench. 1:57 left in this first period of play. Dunning up top. Turner, they work it down low. Jumper in the corner by Smith. That one's off the mark. Backside rebound to Boland. Brittany with the quick step left side now. Doubled there. Pushes across the floor to Cantone. Alani at the block to Macklin. She's doubled there. Zamaya forced to push it back out front. Does so and across the floor now. Hughley on the push all the way through the paint. Macklin foul line extended. Bangs it home for Tuskegee. Nice ball movement there by the Golden Tigers. And Zamaya got her first field goal of the ball game. Take away by Tuskegee now, 2-on-1. Hughley on the left side to the glass. Got to lay in. And the whistle for Tuskegee. Cantone giving that basketball up. Good transition there for Tuskegee. On the Wind Creek Casino Montgomery fast break layup there. LaDeja Hughley, as you take a look at the transition there. Watch the pass by Cantone. Plenty of time to set Hughley up left side. She spins it with the right hand for her first field goal of the ball game, and she's at the line to try to make it a three-point play with the free throw. Spinner, and she does. So just like that, Tuskegee right back into this basketball game. 15-12, they trail it now with 1:11 remaining in the first period. Out front, Jordan Smith handles for Clark Atlanta. Tuskegee has dropped into the zone now. They work it to Gardner. Foul line extended. She's back out on the floor with less than a minute left. 13 to shoot for the Panthers. Jumper out front. That one's off the mark. Fought for, and Boland will let it go out of bounds. Basketball over to Tuskegee. So the Golden Tigers starting to wake up a bit here in this first period of play. 5 of 13 from the floor. They've gone from 14% shooting to 39%. Up top, bounce pass Bobbitt. Back to Hughley. Down in the corner. Boland free. Fires a three. Can't find the range there. Rebound fought for. How about the dive there to get it to stay with Tuskegee? At the block, Macklin. Wait for it to clear to the rack and a whistle. Good effort far side of the floor by Amani Johnson for Tuskegee to dive on that floor and keep it alive for the offense in a half-court set. They get Brown for the personal. That's her first for Clark Atlanta. And Macklin to the line shooting here for Tuskegee. Chance to bring the ball game to within one. Macklin good on the first free throw. One more coming for the junior. From the line, Tuskegee at 70% shooting. And the lefty spins the second one. It won't stay down for. Rebound to Clark Atlanta. They lead by 2 with 19 seconds left first half. They try to work it down low to Garner. She's able to run it down. Smith trying to slide it inside the paint. They get it down low there and a whistle. Boland guarding the taller Amberly Brown. And the senior from Rome, Georgia will be going to the line for CAU. And Brittany picks up her first personal. Correction on that. They call that on Sine. So Sine picks up the second instead of Brittany. So Brown at the line to shoot for Clark Atlanta. She knocks down that first free throw. Her first point to the ball game for CAU. The lead to 3 for the Panthers. Brown at 60% from the line. Got them both that trip. 17-13 lead. Tuskegee with a few seconds left before the buzzer of the first period. Boland kicks it. Macklin, jumper. Got the iron, but it wouldn't stay. So we come to the end of the first period of action here from Chappie James, and it's the visiting Panthers of Clark Atlanta who lead it 17-13 over the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. We'll step out. Second period action coming your way on GTSN.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game.
Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make to level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
Be the you you've always wanted to be. Wind Creek Casino. It's your kind of fabulous.
Head to the second period of action here. Golden Tigers trailing the Panthers of Clark Atlanta 17-13. CAU from the floor 7 of 17 at 41%. And the Golden Tigers 5 of 15 shooting at 33%. Half court set as we begin second period action. Hughley slides all the way through right side, and they'll get her for the travel violation. So Hughley turns it over. And Clark Atlanta with the basketball. Turnover number 6 for the Golden Tigers. And TU jumping into zone defense now. Half court set for Clark Atlanta. Garner way out front, slides right side to the rack, banked it, and the spinner falls good for Garner. So Garner and back the other way. Macklin easily got that one on the inside for a lay-in. Alabama power point in the paint for Tuskegee. Make it 19-15. Jumper out front. That one's off the mark. Rebound fought for it. Tuskegee had the inside position, but the rebound to Clark Atlanta. Garner in the paint, got some space, knocks down a little runner jumper there inside for another field goal for her. Back the other way on transition. Garner to the rack and banked it again right hand. So Garner with back-to-back field goals. She's got 14 in this first half of play, and the lead for the Panthers now up to 23-15. Jumper from out front. Hughley creases the rim. Manuel runs it down in the corner, trying to get it inside the Macklin, but they come up top to Bolin instead. Across the floor. Jumper there. That one knocked down by Amani Johnson, the sophomore. So Amani rings up a 3 to cut the deficit to 23-18. Half court set for Clark Atlanta. The zone defense by the Golden Tigers. Entry pass, they try to work it down low, and it's off of Evans's foot. And Hughley going to run that down for Tuskegee. Runs the floor, shot rejected at the block. The basketball will belong to the Golden Tigers. Coming back onto the field, the court to touch it was Faith Bland. She made a clean block, but she could not be the one from out of bounds to be the next to touch it. And that's what she did, so Tuskegee will have it on their end. Hughley departs. Cantone back out on the floor. And back out there, Alexandria Johnson as well for Coach Wester. 7:41 remains first half of play. Cantone in the corner, up top to Macklin. Samaya gives it over to Alexandria. Behind the arc, back up top, Macklin spins inside and threw the basketball away. Panthers come back the other way, 2-on-1 basketball across the floor. Macklin able to run and catch up with that to bat it out of bounds for Tuskegee. So it'll stay with the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Pruitt on the floor. They got it inside on a shot there. That was missed on the inside. Shot was taken by Sean Tate. So Tuskegee now with the basketball, trailing 23-18. 7:10 left, first half of play. Watching Golden Tigers basketball on the Golden Tigers Sports Network. Saturday afternoon, women's action only this afternoon. Down at the block, Bolin trying to run it down, can't do so. And the basketball on the turnover goes back to Clark Atlanta. Garner with 15 to lead all scorers in this first half of play. Hughley and Amani Johnson, 3 each. Macklin with 6 for the Golden Tigers so far. She leads TSU in scoring. So a turnover for Clark Atlanta gives the basketball back to the Golden Tigers. More women's action coming your way this Monday, live from the Lynn Cottrell Arena up in Dahlonega, Georgia. Full court pressure here, meanwhile. Johnson trying to jump through a double team there. And the basketball over to Clark Atlanta. Johnson not sure about what she saw there, trying to break through that press and is trying to slice between 2 defenders, and she created the contact, and she commits the foul. So she departs, and Hughley back out on the floor. The lead is 5 for Clark Atlanta. Monday's game at 4:30 Central Time, 5:30. University of North Georgia. Tuskegee will be up there for women's action. We'll have the coverage for you on GTSN. Across the floor now. This is Jones way out behind the arc. They go to the foul line. Now right side, Pruitt underneath the defense. Banks it. The spinner won't stay. Cantone back the other way now for the Golden Tigers. Pruitt guarding defensively. Alani right side. Now back up top to Manuel. Jasmine way away from the basket, trying to work her way inside. Shot clock at 10. Hughley bounce pass at the block to Jasmine. Jasmine's fouled. Good bounce pass there by LaDasia Hughley in traffic to get it to Jasmine. They call that foul on Garner. It's Urana Garner with her first personal. Manuel at the line shooting. She leads the Golden Tigers from the free throw line at 89% shooting. And she missed on the first. Came in at 22 of 25 into today's ball game, but misses the first here. Jasmine 1 of 2 from the line. Her first points of the ball game on that free throw attempt there. Make it 23-19. Half court set jumper in the corner. The shot there by Bland is off the mark. Rebound to Macklin and TU. Up to LaDasia. Hughley across the timeline now. Back to Bolden. Bolden on the move at the block. Doubled there. Tried to slide it inside to Macklin. Macklin able to hang on to it. And up to Cantone. Aggressive defense by the Panthers as they pop out. Down low at the block. Jasmine. And a blocking foul called on the inside. Trying to get there, but not soon enough with Bland. Or the foul's called on Sean. It is Bland called for the foul. So Bland picks up her first. And Jasmine going back to the line for Tuskegee. Macklin takes a seat as SIAC Holmes reports back out on the floor for Coach Wester. So Jasmine, 1 of 2 from the line. Her previous trip, shooting 2 here. No, instead, and she won't be shooting. The rule, she was not in the process of shooting, so Bolin will inbound it right of the cylinder for Tuskegee. Entry pass, Jasmine. She has to leap up to get it. Able to collect it to Bolin behind the arc for 3. Double B on that one. Can't find the range. Rebound at the block to Cyan, though, and another look for Tuskegee. Good second chance opportunity here for the Golden Tigers. Cantone, hard push in the corner. Jumper there. Back of the iron. Rebound. Manuel had a hand on it. Can't corral it. Basketball over to Clark Atlanta. No lead changes in this first half of play. We come to a media timeout with 4:57 remaining before the break. Clark Atlanta with a 23-19 lead over the Golden Tigers. More basketball just ahead on GTSN.
I love the lake. It's like one of the few places I can just let go and be myself. I really love it here.
We are back live inside Chappie James. 4:57 remains first half. Clark Atlanta with a 23-19 lead. Tuskegee trying to hang in here. Have not had a lead in the ball game. See if they can do it with just over 4 minutes remaining to claim a lead going into the intermission. Half court set for the Panthers. Garner, foul on extended. Now slides through the defense. Good block there at the last moment by Cyan to slap that basketball out of bounds. It'll stay with the Panthers though. Lizzie Walker, the senior from Crystal Springs, Mississippi, out on the floor now for Coach Bailey and the Panthers. She will inbound the basketball. In the corner she does to Tate. And work it up top on the pass to Jones. Whistles on that play and travel violation there by Maori Pruitt for the Panthers. And the basketball back to Tuskegee. Turnover number 7 for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Cantone on the move now. Lead behind Bolin. Right side, short jumper there. Double B, able to knock that one down. Her second field goal of this first half. 4 points for her, and the lead now down to 2. 23-21, Tuskegee trailing it. Panthers with it there under the floor. Pruitt, bounce pass in traffic. At the top, it's Tate. Tate gives it up on the inside, runner to the glass, and that one's good by Walker. Lizzie Walker a little bit off balance there, but able to get it to the cylinder and get the roll on the lay-in. 25-21, Clark Atlanta leads. Cantone, half-court set. Entry pass there, Jara Jang, who's out on the floor. Hughley tried to get it in the corner to Bolin. Up top to Holmes. 9 to shoot. Cantone, lean away jumper. It won't fall. Rebound by the Panthers. Walker got it for CAU. Up the floor now to Jones. Entry pass inside to Walker again. In the corner, three-point shot there. Rebound, that was short of the cylinder. Bolin comes away with it for Tuskegee. Brittany over to LaDeja. And we're under 3 minutes remaining first half. Tuskegee trailing by 4. Hughley cross dribble inside the paint. Down in the corner to Holmes. Cyan with the jumper. River won't fall. Dara had a hand on it. Jang can't pull it in. Clark Atlanta back the other way. Garner in the corner. Spins. And a blocking foul call there. Good defense by Brittany Bolin at the block. Stood her ground there in the corner. And Garner has picked up her second personal. So basketball back over to Tuskegee. 2:39 remains first half of play. Tuskegee with a 7-game win streak against the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Hughley across the timeline. Trying to set it to Bolin. Bolin far side of the floor on the move, trying to pick up a screen. Underneath on the defense, left it short. Rebound fought for inside the paint. And the arrow on the jump ball call will give it to Clark Atlanta. So Clark Atlanta back the other way, leading by 4. Panthers on their season, winners against University of Tampa. Lost to St. Leo, and they lost to the Vikings of Elizabeth City, then to Clayton State in a close ball game, and they defeated Lamont Owen earlier this week before the Thanksgiving holiday. Half court set for them with 2:06 remaining. 14 to shoot for the Panthers. On the move in the corner, it's Turner. And a whistle there, travel violation against Clark Atlanta. So turnover number 9 for the Panthers gives it back to Tuskegee. Under 2 remaining. Hughley across the timeline for the Golden Tigers. Right side, Cantone pops out for the basketball. They're running that circle weave inside. Now Hughley has it. Now Bolin with 10 to shoot. 7 to shoot, off of a screen. Bolin hard push. Holmes in the corner. Hughley has to fire a three-pointer. Hits the cylinder, missed, but Holmes able to get it, and another look for the Golden Tigers. With a minute 26, foul out extended. Macklin, jumper there. Spinner danced around, bounced up a couple of times, went out of bounds. It'll stay with Tuskegee. Macklin with a little short shot there in the paint. That one bounced up a couple times at the cylinder, wouldn't go in, but Tuskegee will keep the basketball. As Amberly Brown, the senior for Coach Bailey and the Panthers, reports back. She'll replace Walker on the floor for them. This time Brittany left of the cylinder to inbound. Looks to the inside. Back out to Cantone instead. Wide open at the block is Macklin. Missed on the shot. Macklin wide open there. Missed. Leads to a transition for the Panthers. And a blocking foul called on the inside on LaDeja Hughley. I suppose Samaya couldn't believe how open she was that time on the entry pass for Tuskegee in that half-court set. They threw it out toward the perimeter, and then all of the defense of Clark Atlanta chasing. And Macklin free at the block, just missed on an easy lay-in. Turner, the sophomore at the line from Hampton, Georgia, knocks down the first free throw. So her first points of this ball game. And the lead back to 5 for the Panthers. She got them both from the line. Panthers showing full court pressure as Jordan Smith comes back out. Bolin, entry pass to Hughley. We're at 1:08 left, first half of play. Tuskegee trailing 27-21. LaDeja works it right side to Cantone. Whistles, foul, away from the basketball. They call that on Evans. Evans picks up her first. Coriana, fifth-year player for Clark Atlanta, first team All-SIAC. Back-to-back first team nomination for her, and onto that team for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Bolin looks to the inside. Hughley's trying to get some space there, and a foul was called. Call it on to Evans, so she picks up back-to-back personals for her second and team foul number 5 on Clark Atlanta. So Evans picks up the 2. She departs from the ball game. Garner also with 2 for the Panthers. She's already out of the ball game. Cantone at the line for Tuskegee. Alani knocks down the first free throw. Set for the second, got the same result. So Cantone got them both from the line. And it's a 27-23 lead for Clark Atlanta with less than a minute remaining before the intermission. Smith handles out front for CAU. Now works it across the floor to Leah Turner. Turner back to Smith. They dump it down low and they throw the basketball away. So with 38 seconds left, Golden Tigers with a golden opportunity here, trailing 27-23. Get down here and get a quick basket. May get an opportunity for one more opportunity if they score here and a chance to tie it. Hughley up front with the basketball. She'll work it right side. The Panthers pop out on her. And over and back there by Hughley. Just too much dribbling there by the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Really needed to try to get that basketball into some kind of offensive rhythm there. They were never able to do that. So 20 seconds left in the first half, and Clark Atlanta likely with the final shot before the buzzer. They lead 27-23, and here and over back by the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Turner is indicating that it was touched by Hughley. The officials don't agree. You should take a look at there at midcourt. Hughley going after that basketball. Officials saying that she didn't quite get to it in terms of Hughley touching it. So good work by LaDeja. Basketball to the Golden Tigers 60 shoot. Boland down in the corner. Cantone for three to end the half. Spinners good by Cantone at the buzzer. Tuskegee cuts into that deficit right at the buzzer to end the first half. Cantone with her first three-point basket of the first half. And that cuts the Panther lead to 27-26 as we go into the locker room. And you look at this pass from Boland. Halani squaring and got the space. The floater falls good for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Good way to stop the first half of action, trailing by just a point to the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Will step out for a timeout here on the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
I am Deborah Rogers, Deputy Chief Athletic Director, and this is the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Broadcast coverage of Tuskegee athletics on the Golden Tiger Sports Network is brought to you by Alabama Department of Public Health. Healthy people, healthy communities, healthy Alabama. Booster Digital Displays, dedicated to providing high-quality, affordable LED displays with exceptional service. TNT Fireworks, celebrating more than 100 years of America's #1 best-selling brand of fireworks. Alabama Power, developed for the service of Alabama. Wind Creek Casino, Montgomery, elevate your game to fabulous. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing. Coca-Cola, real magic. Zuby's Taco Kitchen, Yellowwood. And by Vibes Restaurant, we're all about good vibes.
Do you want to dance?
Be the you you've always wanted to be. Wind Creek Casino. It's your kind of fabulous.
Hi, I'm Billy Knight, former general manager of the Atlanta Hawks, and this is the Golden Tigers Sports Network.
Staying up to date on all recommended vaccines protects you and your family from disease. Protect yourself and others by making sure you're up to date on all recommended vaccines, including respiratory virus vaccines. Don't wait, vaccinate. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMN.
I love the lake. It's like one of the few places I can just let go and be myself. I really love it here.
I am Deborah Rogers, Deputy Chief Athletic Director, and this is the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Broadcast coverage of Tuskegee athletics on the Golden Tiger Sports Network is brought to you by Alabama Department of Public Health. Healthy people, healthy communities, healthy Alabama. Booster Digital Displays, dedicated to providing high-quality, affordable LED displays with exceptional service. TNT Fireworks, celebrating more than 100 years of America's #1 best-selling brand of fireworks. Alabama Power, developed for the service of Alabama. Wind Creek Casino, Montgomery. Elevate your game to fabulous. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing. Coca-Cola, real magic. Zuby's Taco Kitchen, Yellowwood. And by Vibes Restaurant, we're all about good vibes.
Back live here inside Chappie James Arena. Tuskegee trailing the Panthers of Clark Atlanta 27-26. After first half of play for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta, 11 of 25 shooting from the floor at 44%. 0 of 4 from behind the arc and 3-point shooting for CAU, and they were 5 of 5 from the free throw line. After a slow start, the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee 9 of 29 shooting from the floor at 31%, finishing that first 20 minutes of play. 2 of 10 from behind the arc and 6 of 9 from the free throw line. Tuskegee in that first half led in scoring by Helani Cantone with 7. They got 6 from Shemaiah Macklin, and no other player for Tuskegee close to those numbers. Had a couple of baskets, one by Bobbitt and one by Brittany Boland in that first half of play. Manuel with only 1 point in that first half. They got to get her going in the second half of play. For the Panthers of Clark Atlanta, they were led by Adriana Garner. Garner with 15 points and 5 rebounds to lead the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Turnovers first half, Tuskegee 12, Panthers 11. And rebounding, the edge went to the Golden Tigers 19-17 over Clark Atlanta. Set for second half action. Charles Ward here with the story on the air, joined by producer Marcus Burnett and cameraman Phil Proctor here inside Chappie James. Half-court set for the Golden Tigers now. Boland handles out front. Tuskegee trying to claim its first lead of the ball game. They can get a field goal here with 11 to shoot on the shot clock. Holmes pops out for the basketball. Now over to Johnson. At the block, it's Cantone. Nice head fake by Helani. To the glass, and she banked the lay-in right side. Cantone with a nice work there on the paint to get that basket. And Tuskegee with his first lead of the ball game. Helani with 9 in the contest now. Turnover there in a half-court set for the Clark Atlanta Panthers. Now Johnson with it for Tuskegee. Alexandria pushing across the timeline now for TU. Over to Boland, left side. Manuel trying to get some inside positioning as Boland rolls right side. Now Cantone in the corner. Now Manuel square for the basketball. She's doubled there to the rack. Jumper by Manuel. Good right side for Tuskegee. Need to get her into some scoring. That's her first field goal of the ball game. And Tuskegee with this largest lead of the ball game, 30-27. Half court set for Clark Atlanta. Trinity Jones, second team all-conference player for CAU, handling the basketball. 13 to shoot for CAU. Entry pass inside and some whistles there. Manuel fighting for position on the inside with Amari Mays. And they'll get Manuel for her first personal. Right of the cylinder for Clark Atlanta now. Denise Stein, the fifth-year player, to inbound it. Entry pass batted there by Boland. And they'll do a reset here. 8:35 remaining third period. Gardner, foul line extended. Works it down in the corner. On the move with the basketball is Bland. She'll handle again. Running shot by her to the glass. Missed on the shot. Boland clears for Tuskegee. Brittany across the timeline now. Doubled left side. Leaves it for Johnson for 3. Air ball there by Alexandria. Rebound cleared by Clark Atlanta. Bland got it on the backside. This is Stein at the block. He's trying to slide it inside. Holmes kicks that one. It'll stay with Clark Atlanta. And a reset at 20. Stein to inbound it. Bounce pass in traffic inside. Doubled immediately. It's Jones. She'll kick it back out, though, and got it to Bland. Bland inside the paint. A little bit off balance, but she's going to be bailed out with a foul called on the inside. They call the foul on Alexandria Johnson. She's picked up her second. And shooting foul here as Faith Bland will go to the line for Clark Atlanta to shoot. Bland at 73% from the free throw line coming into today's action, 8 of 11, and she hits the first free throw. Bland with her first points of the ball game on that first free throw. One more coming. And Bland got them both from the line. Tuskegee lead is 1 now, 30-29. Cantone across the timeline now. Trapped there, and a blocking foul called there. Stein trying to get in front of Helani on the right side of the floor, but was running with her step for step and body contact. And that'll be foul number 3 on Stein for Clark Atlanta, so she'll depart the basketball game. And Brooklyn McKinley, the sophomore, out on the floor now for Coach Bailey and Clark Atlanta. Brittany pushes it out front to Johnson. Alexandria, foul line extended with the jumper there. Shot it hard, rebound fought for. Holmes had a hand on it, but it's cleared by Coriana Evans for Clark Atlanta. Now in the front court there, Jones almost traveled with the basketball. Now she's tied up in the corner. And this will be a travel violation against Trinity Jones. She had trouble working that ball from the get once she got it in the backcourt, trying to come across the timeline. So the Panthers will jump to full court pressure as Tuskegee leads it by a point with 7:20 left for third period of play. Left side Boland. Entry pass, Jasmine. Whistles there, riding her on the inside was Evans. So Evans guilty of the foul, trying to find some inside positioning, and she picks up her third. That's a good sign for the Golden Tigers. They can get her off the floor, and they will after that third personal. Non-shooting foul, but Tuskegee with it, side out. Across the floor, Holmes took her eye off of it, and basketball over to Clark Atlanta. It was a dangerous pass from Boland from inbounding it. Try to throw it across the floor. And the Panthers didn't touch the basketball, but they got a player in there in the lane with a hand wave there, and Holmes not able to concentrate enough to keep that basketball. And the turnover gives it to Clark Atlanta. They work it from behind the arc. Bounce pass thrown away. Boland takes it for Tuskegee. Brittany left side, and she'll have to pull back. She'll work it right side, jump there. Cantone handles down in the corner. Jumper there. That one's off the mark. Johnson in the corner, can't find the range. Back the other way comes Clark Atlanta. Quickly to the rack. Floater inside, and that one's good by Garner. So Garner with her first field goal here in the second half. She's got 17 in the ball game. Cantone lead behind for Jones. Back up top, Johnson. Now Boland, jumper right side, double B, knocks it down for Tuskegee. Brittany with 6 now, and the Tuskegee lead is 32-31. Boland, first team all-conference, good field goal there. Half court set for CAU. In the corner, jumper, that one on the back of the iron. Attempt there by Faith Bland, rebound to Jasmine, and she's fouled in the back court. They'll call that foul on Leah Turner. Turner picks up her first, comes with 5:53 remaining in the third. LaDeja Hughley back on the floor as you take a look at the play on the inside with the jumper by Boland. Right side, got the space, and double B, she's true on the jumper to extend the Golden Tiger lead to 32-31. Sine Bobbitt out on the floor now for Coach Wester and Tuskegee. Sine, the senior from Killeen, Texas. Last ball game against West Alabama, 10 points and 2 rebounds in 14 minutes of play for Sine. Had it taken away on the inbound play and a whistle there. It's a careless inbound pass, got that basketball back to Clark Atlanta. And Bobbitt, guilty of the foul, just out on the floor. She's picked up her third. Lackadaisical inbound pass by the Golden Tigers. And the Panthers take advantage of it. Alyssa Green-White, the junior, out on the floor now for Coach Wester. And Tuskegee as Bobbitt commits her third. Alyssa, a junior from Hyattsville, Maryland, transferred into Tuskegee from Alabama State. About 7 minutes per ball game she's averaging on the floor for Tuskegee. At the line for Clark Atlanta, first free throw is good by Leah Turner. Turner set for the second. That one ties the ball game at 32 each with 5:50 remaining in the third. And Turner rims out that second one. Rebound. Tuskegee with it across the floor to Hughley. LaDeja quickly across the timeline. Tried to slide it across the defense and had it batted away inside the paint. Clark Atlanta back the other way now. Turner across the floor. Three-point shot there by McKinley. She can't convert, but a rebound and a putback. That one's off the mark. Hughley runs it down now for Tuskegee. Tied at 32. Half court set for the Golden Tigers. Cantone behind the arc. Thought about a three. She'll keep patting the basketball instead. Entry pass thrown away there by Cantone on the inside. 3-on-3 basketball. Back the other way, falling down to the surface and standing on the inbound line for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta was Brooklyn McKinley. So the basketball back over to Tuskegee. 4:56 remains here in the third. Right back where we started. We're tied, this time at 32 each. Take a break here on GTSN.
Broadcast coverage of Tuskegee athletics on the Golden Tiger Sports Network is brought to you by Alabama Department of Public Health. Healthy people, healthy communities, healthy Alabama. Booster Digital Displays, dedicated to providing high-quality, affordable LED displays with exceptional service. TNT Fireworks, celebrating more than 100 years of America's #1 best-selling brand of fireworks. Alabama Power, developed for the service of Alabama. Wind Creek Casino, Montgomery. Elevate your game to fabulous. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing. Coca-Cola, real magic. Zuby's Taco Kitchen, Yellowwood. And by Vibes Restaurant, we're all about good vibes.
Back live inside Chappie James. Tuskegee trying to inbound the basketball after the timeout. Hughley has it across the timeline. LaDeja dribbles inside the paint and back out. Tied at 32. Boland with the basketball out front. 15 to shoot for the Golden Tigers. Whitney doubled out front to Macklin. Macklin now across the floor to Cantone. 7 to fire for Tuskegee. At the block, 3 to shoot. Turning toward the cylinder. Got it airborne there. And Alyssa Green-White before the shot clock buzzer gets the field goal. TU went all the way to the very end there to get that basket. They lead it 34-32. Half court set for CAU now. They bounce it in the corner to Turner. They throw it away. Up the floor, lead pass for Hughley. Hughley all the way through. Spinners! Good by LaDeja, right side. How about the lead pass from Cantone on that one? Perfectly tossed up the floor to lead Hughley. And Hughley able to finish for the Golden Tigers. That'll force a timeout by Coach Bailey. As you take a look at this play, Cantone, check that little flick pass up the floor. Timing all the way. Hughley runs under it. And the speedster gets the lay-in right side for Tuskegee, 36-32 as a result. More basketball just ahead here on GTSN.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game.
Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
Wind Creek Casino Montgomery, fast break layup by the Golden Tigers. They extend their lead to 36-32 after the good transition basket. Wonderful pass from Cantone to lead Hughley for the lay-in. Under 4 minutes left in the third. Golden Tigers with a 36-32 lead. Half court set with the basketball, McKinley. Now Turner on the other end. Lost it on the inside. And now it's a tangle on the floor. Hughley comes away with it for the Golden Tigers. Didn't have a break there, so she'll circle back to the top. Over to Boland. Now Cantone. 4-point lead for Tuskegee. And Helani works it out front. 13 to shoot. Helani. Hughley for 3. LaDeja. Bingo from outside for Hughley. Hughley with a big field goal from the floor for the Golden Tigers. She's got 7 in this basketball game. Lifts the Golden Tiger lead now to 39-32. 3:04 left in the third. Down at the block, a tie up there. Jump ball called. And the arrow will keep it with CAU. Stein back out on the floor. Stein back out there playing with 3 personals. Garner comes back out as well. So with 3 minutes remaining here in the third, Tuskegee leads 39-32, their largest lead of the ball game. Cantone anticipating it and stole the entry pass. 2-on-1 back the other way. Boland turns quickly. She recognizes it. In the corner, Hughley again for 3. That one on the iron. Rebound, Green-White on the inside. She can't get it to fall. And the basketball over to the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. LaDeja filling it in the corner down there and just missed on that three-point shot. So Clark Atlanta back the other way. Tuskegee with the lead. Stein up top to Jones. Now Garner gets it foul line extended. Trying to dump it inside. Got it down at the block. Good challenge there on the inside by Macklin. Yellowwood blocked that way. Hughley back the other way to the glass. This time she's short on the shot. Macklin with the block to set that transition up. Tuskegee just not able to finish. Shot on the inside. Green-White comes away with the rebound for Tuskegee. And we go down to 2:07 left in the third. Hughley out front, guarded by McKinley. Now Boland takes a turn. Whistles. And a foul called on the inside. They call that on McKinley. McKinley, that's her third. And back out on the floor for Coach Bailey now. Coriana Evans, she comes back out with 1:55 left in the third. She's playing with 3 personals. Laura Pruitt back out on the floor now for the Panthers as well. She'll replace McKinley, who just picked up her third. So foul trouble looming for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Boland inbounds it to Macklin. Samaya to Boland. Boland wraparound pass at the block. Green. She'll have to come out and reset it. Cantone handles with 10 to shoot now. 7 to shoot. Milani works it left side. Got to hustle here. Lead behind Hughley. They won't get it off this time. Shot clock violation by the Golden Tigers. Basketball over to Clark Atlanta. A minute 34 remains in the third. Tuskegee with the lead. On the move now is Stein. She pushes across the floor. Evans with a jumper from out front. She missed on the shot. They get a rebound though. Second chance opportunity will send Evans to the line for Clark Atlanta. They call that on Macklin, so Samaya picks up her first. And that'll send Coriana Evans to the line to shoot for Clark Atlanta. Evans quiet in this ball game, has not scored for Clark Atlanta. Now she has with that first field goal, or free throw that is. Evans, the team's leading scorer coming into today's ball game at 15 points per outing. So that Tuskegee defense has done a good job of nullifying her presence as she knocks down that second free throw though. So 2 points for her. It's a 39-34 lead for the Golden Tigers. A minute 18 left in the third. Boland to inbound it. Cantone across the timeline now to Hughley, right side. Boland trying to come free and get to that basketball at the top. She does. Zone defense for the Panthers. Cantone handles left side with 10 to shoot now for TU. Entry pass Manuel at the free throw line. Hughley on the move right side. Lead behind Cantone. Far side of the floor. Jumper there by Milani. Backside rebound comes clear to Garner and CAU. 42 seconds left in the third. 3-point shot there, and that one's knocked down out front by Stein. Stein with 5 in the ball game, makes it a 2-point deficit. TU with the lead and the basketball with 30 seconds left in the third. Jasmine trying to square up, a good defensive work there by Coriana Evans for the Panthers. Cantone left side behind the arc. 10 to shoot. Manuel inside the paint now. One-on-one, head fake to the rack with the left hand. Got the shot to fall. And Jasmine to the line for Tuskegee. That was one-on-one basketball and a point, an Alabama power point in the paint by Manuel. Let's take a look there, the entry pass. It was clear one-on-one there with Evans. Hard step there by Jasmine. Use of the left hand. Nicely done to the glass. And she's at the line to try to convert on a 3-point play. Line drive on the 3-point shot. 41-37, Golden Tigers with the lead. Back the other way. Lay-ins missed and a whistle down low inside the paint. Foul was called on Samaya Macklin. That's her second. Amberly Brown out on the floor now for Coach Bailey. Jones at the line to shoot for Clark Atlanta. 2.1 seconds left in the third. Jones got the first one to fall on the roll. That's Trinity's first point of the ball game as well. For the second, she's good on both from the line. Just 2 seconds left. Boland with it in the backcourt, and they'll play it out here. So we come to the end of the third period here inside Chappie James, and the Golden Tigers reclaim a lead here. Lead at 41-39. Take a look at some of the action as Cantone on a half-court set. And here's that three-point shot by LaDacia Hughley from way out front. Huge three-pointer there for the Golden Tigers. And they lead it at the end of three, 41-39 over the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Take a timeout and bring you the final period here on GTSN.
Staying up to date on all recommended vaccines protects you and your family from disease. Protect yourself and others by making sure you're up to date on all recommended vaccines, including respiratory virus vaccines. Don't wait, vaccinate. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
Be the you you've always wanted to be. Wind Creek Casino. It's your kind of fabulous.
Back live inside Chappie James. We go into the fourth quarter. Golden Tigers with a 41-39 lead. Golden Tigers at 3-2 overall. First conference play for the Golden Tigers. Clark Atlanta at 3-2. This is the first ball game in conference action, which counts for them. They played Lemoyne on earlier this week, but that one did not count in the conference standing. So both teams looking for their first conference win. And Tuskegee leading at 41-39. We go into the fourth. Cantone out front across the floor to Boland. 7 to shoot. Brittany down in the corner now. It's got to get it out of there. Up top to Cantone. She's out front. Got some space. Pushes the three-pointer. Missed on the shot, but Macklin there with the rebound and the lay-in left side for Tuskegee. Macklin now with 6 in the ball game. Half-court set now for Clark Atlanta. Down at the block and a whistle. Sandwiched in between Mackin and Manuel was Amberly Brown. They'll get Mackin with the foul. That's her. Actually, that one's going to go against Jasmine. That's her second. Mackin had 2. That would have been her third, but they credit it to Jasmine instead. So at the line shooting for Clark Atlanta now, Amberly Brown. Brown rattled and missed that first free throw. Brown with 2 points in the ball game. Those 2 coming on 2 free throws. Missed on that second. Rebound by Manuel for Tuskegee. 9 minutes left in the ball game. Cantone across the timeline for TU. Tuskegee trying to set a screen out front. They go inside and throw it away. No real movement by the Golden Tigers in that offensive set. An easy takeaway there for Clark Atlanta. Stein on the move inside the paint. Runner to the glass. Missed on the shot. Boland had a hand on it. She couldn't finish. Basketball tapped around. Now Manuel clears for Tuskegee. Full court pressure by Clark Atlanta. Boland across the timeline, pushes left side, got some space there, elects to push it back out to Cantone instead. So Halani backpedals, as we pedal our way down to 8:09 remaining in the third. Right side, Hughley, 7 to shoot for the Golden Tigers. Hughley at the block. They get her for a travel violation, but looks like she's coming up. She may have caught a cramp there in the process. She will go straight to the trainer's table after she was in progress penetrating left side. Just came up with a cramp in the back of the leg. So the basketball over to CAU now. 43-39, Golden Tigers lead it. We're at 7:48 left in the contest. Stein across the floor to Pruitt. Trying to bounce it inside. They got it down at the block on the turn is Brown, but she missed on the shot. Good defense inside by Manuel. Over to Cantone. Alani, right side, hard cross dribble by her. Pushes back out to Boland. At the block, Jasmine, one-on-one across the lane. Floater with the left hand, missed on the shot. Got her own rebound and a putback on the inside. A whistle as well. So the extra work by Jasmine on the inside paying off again with another Alabama power point in the paint as she worked inside. Take a look there on that first miss, but she worked hard to get that rebound and leaning back and got that lay in to fall, and she'll be at the line shooting for a chance for the three-point play. Jasmine, the grad student from St. Louis, Missouri. Rimmer falls good for Jasmine and Tuskegee. She's got 8 in the basketball game now for the Golden Tigers. Half court set for Clark Atlanta. And a point there from out front. Stein got a three-pointer to wrap good for her and the Panthers. Her second three-point field goal of the ball game. That makes it 46-42, 6:54 remaining. Johnson back out on the floor, trying to get it at the block to Manuel. Jasmine fighting for position on the inside against Bland. Around the perimeter, Boland, 8 to shoot. Now she'll work it right side, 4 to shoot. Boland in the paint, had it stripped and out of bounds. Shot clock violation by the Golden Tigers. Initial indication was that it was touched by Clark Atlanta, but that would have been with no time on the shot clock after it was touched, after the missed shot. They're actually going to put 1 second back on the clock now to the benefit of the Golden Tigers. They had to unload it quickly. It was running down, and as it went out of bounds, it was touched by Clark Atlanta, so 1 second on the clock. It'll be a catch and shoot for Tuskegee. Out front, Macklin got some time. Macklin with the jumper on the front of the iron, though. Rebound to Clark Atlanta. Stein, the fifth-year player, gives it over to Pruitt. Now on a hard push on the inside, this is Jones at the block, and they throw it away. Jasmine clears for Tuskegee. Full court pressure. Boland slides it across the timeline now for TU with 6:10 remaining in the basketball game. Brittany, hard push right side. Tried to lead behind and a whistle on the inside. Call a blocking foul there on Jasmine, trying to get some positioning. Actually, likely more like a moving screen violation for her. So she'll pick up her third, and the basketball over to Clark Atlanta. 6:04 left, 4-point lead for Tuskegee. Sophomore Pruitt with the basketball out front for CAU. Across the floor, Jones handles. Steps in between two defenders, missed on the shot, left it at the front of the cylinder. Boland with it in the backcourt. Now Johnson, she's trapped in the backcourt. Across the timeline now to Boland. Boland pushes in the corner, whistles, and a blocking foul called on the inside. Boland was penetrating left side, and Bland trying to get there, didn't get in there in enough time, and that's her second personal. So 5:35 remains. It's a 46-42 lead for the Golden Tigers. Boland will inbound right of the cylinder. Entry pass got Cantone at the block. Halani beat the defense of Pruitt, and she got the easy lay-in. So good job of movement there by Halani. And Tuskegee extends its lead to 48-42. Garner back the other way in traffic. It's tapped out of bounds. It'll stay with Tuskegee. Good convergence on the inside there by Holmes and Johnson to tie up Garner on that penetration right side. Pruitt, left of the cylinder to inbound it, does so to Garner. Adriana, hard spin, foul on extended with the jumper. Oh, that's nicely done. That's the reason she's first team all-conference, that kind of work on the inside. 48-44, Tuskegee still leads it though. Garner with 19 for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Mackin in the corner, Bolden for three, double B, count it for Tuskegee. Bolden knocks down her first three-point field goal of the ball game. Couldn't be any more timely than that. 51-44 after the three-pointer. Garner underneath the cylinder, too deep. Put back, that one's missed. Third opportunity, that one's good, and a foul on the inside. Mackin just could not get the defensive positioning on the inside. That's her third, and at the line shooting for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta, Bland after she hit the lay-in. And a media timeout with 4:36 remaining here inside Chappie James. You take a look at some of the action on the floor. This is Bolden spotting up in the corner. You cannot leave that much space for double B. She'll do that every time. Bangs it home for the Golden Tigers to extend the TU lead. And at the break, it's a 51-46 lead for Tuskegee.
Hi, I'm Billy Knight, former general manager of the Atlanta Hawks, and this is the Golden Tigers Sports Network.
Staying up to date on all recommended vaccines protects you and your family from disease. Protect yourself and others by making sure you're up to date on all recommended vaccines, including respiratory virus vaccines. Don't wait, vaccinate. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMN.
4:36 remains. Tuskegee with a 51-46 lead. After they've claimed that lead in the third period, have not relinquished it since then. As we come back to the line for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta, Bland at the line trying to convert on a three-point play. She got to lay inside the paint. And now the free throw. And she got that as well. Full court pressure by Clark Atlanta. 51-47 lead for Tuskegee. Manuel across the timeline for Tuskegee. Over to Johnson. Alexandria working at left side, 10 to shoot. Tried to bounce it inside the Manuel. Down at the block, Holmes to the glass, and Cyan is fouled. She'll go to the line. Bland clipped her under the basket. That's her third. And that'll send Cyan to the line for Tuskegee to shoot. Holmes, a grad student out of Evanston, Illinois. 4 of 6 from the free throw line, or 67%. Holmes missed on the first of 2. Seven of 11 from the free throw line for Tuskegee. Cyan with the second. Missed that one as well. Rebound fought for, cleared in the corner by Garner. And Clark Atlanta. Full court pressure by Tuskegee. Across the timeline come the Panthers of CAU. McKinley back out on the floor. She's out there playing with 3. Cross dribble inside the paint, floater to the rack, spinners off the mark, but the basketball comes clear to Garner. And another look for Clark Atlanta. Garner with a jumper at the foul line. She was fouled. They call the foul on Holmes. That's her second. Clark Atlanta just quicker to the basketball than the Golden Tigers. 51-47 lead for Tuskegee. Garner at the line shooting for Clark Atlanta. And she knocks down that first free throw. Even 20 points for her in the ball game now. And Garner for the second. Good there as well. Just an all-around player for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Good defensive player and so smooth inside the paint to make it 51-49. Full court pressure by Clark Atlanta. Boland in the backcourt. Cantone pushes across the floor to Johnson. Whistles on the play and a travel violation. Alexandria Johnson, the senior from Little Rock, just a little bit antsy on that play. And the basketball over to Clark Atlanta with a chance for them to tie it with 3:42 remaining. Hughley went out a while ago favoring her left leg. She's at the scorer's table now, and she's set to come back in. Garner, hard push right side, floater in the paint, left it on the iron. Cantone clears for Tuskegee. Johnson across the timeline. Over to Cantone. We're at 3:20 left. Tuskegee by a field goal. Cantone out front. 13 to shoot now for Tuskegee. Cantone doubled out front, trying to lead behind for Mackin. Down in the corner on the move. Johnson at the block. Leans in underneath, blocked by the cylinder. Basketball over to Clark Atlanta. And a foul by Manuel down low. Half-court set there, just no movement from Tuskegee at all there in terms of a solid play toward the basket. Kind of standing around watching the person with the basketball. Hughley back out on the floor now with 3:01 remaining. And at the line, McKinley to shoot, a chance to tie the ball game up at 51. And she missed on the front end of two. Second free throw. One of two from the line for McKinley. It's her 5th point of the ball game. And the Tuskegee lead now down to 1. Mackin to inbound it. Cantone, full court pressure by Clark Atlanta. Boland in the backcourt. Tuskegee's got to hurry to get it across the timeline now. They do with a pass to Hughley, left side. Hughley up top to Boland. We're under 3 minutes left. Tuskegee by a point. They spread the floor. And again, no real movement on any cuts or anything as Hughley handles out front. 7 to shoot. Cantone pops out with 5. Now to Boland. She'll have to hoist the three-pointer. Boland. Back of the iron there. Rebound to Clark Atlanta. It's no offensive set there for Tuskegee. And across the timeline, Coach Bailey takes a timeout. 2:23 remains in this basketball game. 51-50 lead for Tuskegee, but the Golden Tigers just have not gotten anything going on the offensive end of the floor last couple of trips down the floor against the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. So Coach Bailey, recognizing that his team with an important trip down the floor, took the timeout. See if they can't work it inside for a basket. For Clark Atlanta, they're led by Adriana Garner with 21 points in this ball game. And you know that in this half-court set, that basketball likely going to go through her hands with a chance for the Panthers to reclaim the lead. One-point separation from the teams. And 3 lead changes in this ball game and 3 ties up to this point. Last time Clark Atlanta had a lead was 6:19 in the third. So they're trying to see if they can eke back ahead with 2:23 left. Half-court set. Pruitt handles out front for CAU. Zone defense by the Golden Tigers. Out front with the basketball is Jones. Foul line extended. Garner. She's on the move right side. Bumped on the inside. They'll count the basket, and she will go to the line. Mackin trying to face up, but Garner just too strong on the inside as she got that point, and she'll be at the line to shoot. Mackin picks up her 4th. Garner trying to close off on a 3-point play. And she spins that good for Clark Atlanta. So Garner with 23 in the ball game now. More importantly, she gives the Panthers a lead with 2:09 left, 53-51. Bobbitt back out on the floor now for Coach Wester. Sine picked up that third personal in this early part of the fourth period. Cantone in the backcourt to Boland. Brittany crosses the timeline down in the corner to Bobbitt. TU trailing by a point. Three-pointer by Bobbitt. That's an air ball, and the rebound to Garner and Clark Atlanta. Bobbitt coming off the bench and firing that three-pointer. Perhaps ill-advised on that shot. And Clark Atlanta by a field goal with the basketball on their half of the floor. Stein over to McKinley. 10 to shoot now. They're trying to get it to Garner inside the paint. She's there. A soft jumper by Garner, and she answers inside for Clark Atlanta. Garner with 25 in the ball game for the Panthers. Hughley tied up and trapped at the sideline, and she'll call a timeout. A minute 16 left. Clark Atlanta leads by 4, 55-51 after the good work inside by Adriana Garner to find the space. And she got a jumper on the inside to take the lead for Clark Atlanta. We'll take a timeout here. A minute 16 remaining here on GTSN.
I love the lake. It's like one of the few places I can just let go and be myself. I really love it here.
Back live here in Chappie James after the timeout. Clark Atlanta finds itself in front 55-51. Boland in the corner for three. Double B knocks it down for Tuskegee to cut into that lead. Her second three-pointer of the ball game cuts the deficit to 1. Under a minute remains now. Defense is the key for the Golden Tigers, and the timeout taken by Coach Bailey and the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. So Tuskegee taking full advantage after the timeout and that half-court set. Cantone pushing over, and they pushed it immediately to Boland. Got the space, run out by the Panther defense. Too late. Boland on the three ball for the Golden Tigers to make it 55-54. Now with 54 seconds left, 23 seconds on the shot clock for Coach Bailey. You know what their strategy is, to get that ball into the hands of Garner. Garner with 26 points in this ball game, 11 of 16 from the floor. Field goal percentage at 69% because she's getting that basketball inside the paint, just inside of the free throw line, and able to freely work there in such a short distance. And she's knocked them down, and she's also perfect from the line at 4 of 4. Double-double for her in this ball game, 26 points so far and 10 rebounds for Garner, the sophomore for Clark Atlanta. First team all-conference player. We'll see how Tuskegee defends this as they make it out onto the floor. Cantone, Mackin, Johnson, Manuel, and Boland, the 5 for Coach Wester and Tuskegee. Stein will inbound it. Pruitt out front. Johnson guarding her tightly. Across the floor now, they go back to Stein. Cantone with that defensive assignment. Tuskegee just needs a good stop here. Stein, they kick it in the corner. McKinley for 3. Missed on the shot. Rebound fought for. Basketball over to Tuskegee. Down at that block, it went off of Bland for Clark Atlanta. And Tuskegee now with 36 seconds left in the ball game, a chance to steal this win. They can go down the floor here and get a basket with some real pressure on Clark Atlanta on the offensive end. It'll be full court pressure now by the Panthers of CAU. Mackin to inbound it. Cantone in the backcourt. Boland there as well. I think Coach Wester's going to take a timeout here, and she will. Recognize that she's up against that full court pressure of Clark Atlanta. Can't utilize the service of Deja Hughley just yet. She's being wrapped up there with her left leg. coming into that huddle, likely not able to go for Clark Atlanta with the wrapping on her left leg. She tried to go a couple of minutes ago. At the timeout, she was taken out of the lineup, and it would not appear that she's going to be back out on the floor. So the guard play of Clark Atlanta will have to center around Cantone and Boland in the backcourt. And Alexandria Johnson got to get clear, get this basketball into the front court. It looks like they may have it at side out, though, after that timeout. We'll see. Standing on the other side of the floor with the basketball. And they will have it in a half-court set. So that's good for Tuskegee that they don't have to go against that CAU full-court pressure, as Cantone on the far side of the floor will inbound it for TU. Does so out front to Boland. Clock geared up now, 33 seconds remaining. Boland looking for some space. On the weave, gives it to Cantone. Cantone up top, 19 to shoot. Over to Boland behind the arc. Got it at the block to Manuel. Jasmine doubled there. Across the floor at the block. Johnson had it blocked, but a whistle on the inside. Faith Bland got too close, and she picks up her fourth. And that'll send Alexandria Johnson to the line, the senior from Little Rock, to shoot. So Alexandria at the line for Tuskegee, shooting some big free throws here. Johnson scoreless in this basketball game, but these free throws can make all the difference. 81% free throw shooter. Rims the first one, it falls good for Johnson and Tuskegee. Her first point of the ball game ties it at 55. 17.8 seconds remains. Johnson on the second spinner. That one tossed out of there. The whistles were going back the other way. Mackin over the back, and she commits the foul. And Clark Atlanta will go back to the other end of the floor and shoot free throws. Mackin's fouled out of the basketball game as well. Not in position on the offensive end and commits that foul over the back. And that'll send Bland to the line for Clark Atlanta with 16.8 seconds left. Tied at 55. Bland on the first. And she's able to knock down the first free throw for Clark Atlanta. Bland for the second. And got them both from the line. So Coach Wester and Tuskegee taking a timeout here, trailing by a field goal, 57-55, with 16.8 seconds left. We'll see what the strategy is for Coach Wester as the Golden Tigers trail it now. They try to work it on the inside, maybe get it to Jasmine. So if you can't get it to the cylinder, get a lay-in and a foul to go to the line. Or do they put it in the hands of Boland from the outside with a field goal? 2-point variety will tie it, but if she's behind the arc, depending on the time, if they have to hoist a three, they can win it with a 3-point field goal. Tight situation here for the Golden Tigers. First conference ball game. So is the first conference contest for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Each team at 3-2 overall in early season play. Alyssa Green-White out on the floor. Alexandria Johnson, Alani Cantone, Jasmine Manuel, and Brittany Boland, the 5 for Tuskegee. And it'll be Green-White to inbound the basketball for Tuskegee. Now she'll come out of that spot, and Cantone will inbound it. Half court set for the Golden Tigers, trailing by 2. 16.8 seconds remaining. They work a screen for Johnson. Now Boland will pop out to try to get the basketball. She'll handle it in the half court. Over to Cantone. Alani, they're trying to get it to Jasmine if they can. Down at the block, they throw the basketball away. Clark Atlanta with Gardner handling. Boland's got to foul her, and she does in the front court. Tuskegee trying to get it on the inside. Too many bodies too close to that basketball, and they turn it over underneath. So Garner to the line for Clark Atlanta, and a chance to put this one out of reach with both field goals if she can hit them here. 6.1 seconds left. Garner with 26. Rimmed that one, left it on the front of the iron. So Tuskegee will have the basketball. See if they call a timeout after the field goal here. Don't think they have any timeouts left. They do not. So it's 58-55. Bolden slides across the defense now. 2 to shoot. Bolden behind the arc. That one's partially deflected, and no foul called on that. The officials looking at each other. Coach Wester can't believe she didn't get a call on that, and that is the final here as the Panthers of Clark Atlanta come in and take a lead right at the end. As you take a look at this play, Bolden across the timeline, the defense behind her, and that ball swatted from behind by Bland. Difficult to see if she caught any arm with that at all as we try to re-rack it, maybe take a look to see if she did. But that's the way it ends. They had it in the hands of Bolden from behind the arc, but Bolden not able to get that shot off by virtue of the good defense of the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. So Clark Atlanta will go to 4-2 on the season, and they go to 1-0 in SIAC play with the win over the Golden Tigers, and Tuskegee falls to 3-3 on the campaign, and they are still in search of their first conference win. That'll do it for our coverage here. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up here as the Golden Tigers fall to the Panthers of Clark Atlanta, 58-55. Break after this.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game.
Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
Be the you you've always wanted to be. Wind Creek Casino. It's your kind of fabulous.
Broadcast coverage of Tuskegee Athletics on the Golden Tiger Sports Network is brought to you by Alabama Department of Public Health. Healthy people, healthy communities, healthy Alabama. Booster Digital Displays, dedicated to providing high-quality, affordable LED displays with exceptional service. TNT Fireworks, celebrating more than 100 years of America's #1 best-selling brand of fireworks. Alabama Power, developed for the service of Alabama. Wind Creek Casino, Montgomery. Elevate your game to fabulous. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing. Coca-Cola, real magic. Zuby's Taco Kitchen, Yellowwood. And by Vibes Restaurant, we're all about good vibes.
Back live here inside Chappie James. Final score, Golden Tigers of Tuskegee fall short to the Panthers of Clark Atlanta, 58-55. And Tuskegee falls to 3-3 after the loss in a ball game that Tuskegee led for most of that second half, but just not able to hold that lead right on to the end. For the Panthers of Clark Atlanta, they finished 18 of 50 from the floor at 36% and 2 of 10 from behind the arc. And the real advantage for them is from the free throw line. They went there 25 times, converted on 20 of those free throw attempts at 80%. For the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee, 21 of 57 shooting from the floor, had 5 three-point baskets on 21 attempts, and 8 of 15 shooting from the free throw line for Tuskegee. Individual performances in this basketball game, certainly the key for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. The play of Adriana Garner, first-team all-conference player. In 35 minutes plus, Garner 11 of 16 shooting from the floor and 5 of 6 from the free throw line. She finished with 27 points and 10 rebounds, as the Golden Tigers just did not have an answer for her as she worked inside the paint for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. For Tuskegee, had a couple of players in double figures. Jemiah Macklin, Brittany Bolin, that is, she finished with 12 points for the Golden Tigers. And Helani Cantone, she finished with 11 for Tuskegee, along with 6 rebounds. And just not enough for Tuskegee to finish this thing off in this ball game. It was 22 turnovers for the Golden Tigers, 19 for Clark Atlanta. The rebounding edge went to the Panthers as well. They finished with a total of 39 rebounds compared to 36 for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Biggest lead of the ball game was 12 by Clark Atlanta in the first half of play, in that first period of play. Tuskegee had a 7-point lead with 3:22 remaining in the third. Scoring runs, an 11 scoring run for Clark Atlanta and a 10-point scoring run for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Game had 4 lead changes and 4 ties. And at the end, it was the Golden Tigers falling to the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Take a look at the turnovers. We talked about 17 for Tuskegee, 15 for Clark Atlanta. Those are points off of turnovers, 15 for Clark Atlanta, 17 for Tuskegee. Points in the paint, 32 for Clark Atlanta and 22 for the Golden Tigers. Second chance points, Tuskegee with 15, Clark with 14. And fast break points, CAU finished with 15 and Tuskegee with 7. And off the bench, 23 points by the Tuskegee bench and 12 for the Panthers of Clark Atlanta. Where it counts most, the Golden Tigers fall to the Panthers of Clark Atlanta 58-55 on a Saturday afternoon ball game, a conference contest for both. So the Panthers now at 4-2 and 1-0 in SIAC play. Golden Tigers at an even 3-3 and still looking for their first conference win. They'll be back in action. The Golden Tigers will be on Monday, and we'll be coming to you from the Lynn Cottrell Arena up in Dahlonega, Georgia, as the Golden Tigers will meet the University of North Georgia, the Nighthawks, in a ball game that starts at 4:30 p.m. Central Time and 5:30 on the East Coast. We'll have the coverage for you on the Golden Tiger Sports Network. On this Saturday afternoon, that does it for our coverage. Golden Tigers fall to the Panthers of Clark Atlanta 58-55. Special thanks to Tuskegee President Dr. Mark Brown, Dr. Rolandus Rice, Tuskegee Chief Operating Officer, Director of Athletics Reginald Ruffin, Chief Deputy Athletics Director Deborah Rogers, Communications and Marketing Department at Tuskegee University, Tanya Lee and Stefan Smith, Sports Information Director Jordan Benson, and Game Operations Manager Nick Brown. And certainly to our production team here inside Chappie James, Marcus Burnett with our production this afternoon, and Phil Proctor handling our camera. And a special thanks to all of you for watching our coverage of Golden Tigers basketball on GTSN. Back at you on Monday from Dahlonega, Georgia on GTSN. Until then, Charles Walsh saying thanks. Have a great Saturday evening. This has been a production of the Golden Tiger Sports Network.